Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go. Let's talk about why you're not signing clients, even if you're showing up consistently. This one is going to be a little bit more of a strategy episode. I've done a few podcasts in the last month or two around the mindset of it. And I think that how I think as heart-centered women, we are afraid of the success. We're afraid on who it's going to change us to be. We're afraid of the visibility, all of that. But today I want to talk about more strategically 3 things you can do to sign clients, even if you're showing up like consistently, but you feel like it's not working, it's not converting from you. You feel like something's missing, right? And again, I just want to say it's not for your lack of effort. It's not for your lack of consistency. It's not that you just need to like try harder, push harder. I think we all know when we need to take action, but sometimes there's like a little twinkle in us when we have this inkling like, ooh, maybe it's also something else. Like maybe it's something that needs to shift or change or tweak. And honestly, the 3 things I'm going to talk about today, I think are good to reevaluate like every half year in your business. And so even if you have done these 3 things in a prior chapter, this podcast episode is a reminder that it's time for you to update them. It's kind of like our car, how we need to change the oil or change the tires. Or I wish you could buy a car and it would require no maintenance for 20 years. But that's not the case. Same thing with our business, right? I think we make it mean that there's something wrong if we have to change the tires on our car. And we're like, oh, might as well get a whole new car, right? No, maybe you just need to change the tires on your car, right? The analogy being your business. Maybe you just need to change one of these 3 things in your business to sign more clients. Maybe you don't need to like, oh, I just need to get a job or start a new business, or like take a breath. You can do this. Let's talk through them. So first, I'm going to talk about messaging because I'm obsessed with brand keywords and how I really feel like it's more, I think in the beginning, 10 years ago when I taught in online marketing, I really taught the one-liner and I really encouraged women to update it like every year, every other year. Now my recommendation is to use brand keywords and to update it every 6 months or more. I feel like that's just our changing landscape is with social media and online marketing. Like, I think that the world with technology, with AI, we're starting to speed up. So what we need to do is keep changing our messaging so that we're continually a match for what our clients are looking for. It doesn't always mean that you're going to change what you do on the back end, but it will mean how you change how you phrase things, right? For example, I still help my clients on the back end make sales in a non-icky way. I don't talk about it as much on the front end because I feel like women are a little more allergic, like they have like a gut reaction to selling. When I say selling, I just mean getting visible and inviting people to your work, right? So I have made so many changes and iterations to my message over the past 10 years. My work has changed some in some ways, in other ways it hasn't, right? But it is important, as it always has been, to niche and not have too broad of a message. But what I want to say is make sure that you're updating it. If you did my brand keyword masterclass, I talk about mentioning the words how people want to feel. And how people want to feel is kind of a trend, right? It can change over time. Same thing with like, if you are a weight loss coach, you may talk about the new trend of GLP-1s, right? And how, hey, you're accepting of women, you'll help them lose weight even if they're on that shot, or how to lose weight without it, or whatever your take is, I don't care, right? But it's important to address the time. And I just feel like times are changing rapidly. And so I really feel like every 6 months at minimum, we need to be looking at our messaging. Why? And how does this affect you signing clients? Because you already know this, but I'm going to say it again. The words that you're using in your marketing need to resonate not with you with the people that are going to be buying from you. And the people that are going to be buying from you aren't you. They might be you from a while ago, right? But I want you to really, so it doesn't take long. It takes about an hour, I would say, to update your messaging. If you have a coach supporting you, I'm happy to help you with that. But just remembering it's important to do, right? And it's normal. The tires on your car need changing, right? You're driving with tires that the tread fell off. And you're like, why isn't this working? I'm still driving my car. Yeah, but you're not going anywhere because your tires aren't changed. You know what I mean? And so it's not just enough to be in your car. You need to update your messaging. Okay, sorry. Got a little lost with the analogy. Okay, second one is make sure that you're working on building connection. You're not just focused on conversion, which is an interesting one to think about, because I think as heart-centered women, we don't want to be salesy, we don't want to be icky, and yet sometimes I think that we accidentally are. Sorry, I know you don't want to hear this, but you know I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? I think we're nervous to sell, so then we don't sell, but then we are really salesy because we get desperate or irritated that people aren't converting. Right? It's almost like boundaries. Like when we are continually having boundaries, we're not getting bitter and resentful, and then we're just maintaining the relationship, right? Sales, I feel like, is a boundary issue. If you're going to have an email list, you're working your booty off for your Instagram, you better be selling and converting it. Otherwise, why are you doing it, right? I'm someone that if I didn't have an online business, wouldn't really be on social media a ton. I'm not really it's safe for you to be strategic, right? And really think from the beginning, how do I build more connection while I'm selling consistently? Right? I think we forget that we confuse care and money, right? We feel like it's either you care about the people you're helping or you're making money. Or you could do both. It's safe for you to make money doing what you love and what you're natural at, right? And I think when we own this, it's a lot easier to be selling all the time in our social media, but in a more connection-filled way, right? With value, with story, with selling the early parts of our funnel, right? Really convincing people to download your freebie, really selling your freebie, really selling your low-cost paid intro call, whatever it is for you, right? And not just when the card opens. Otherwise, I think what heart-centered entrepreneurs accidentally end up doing, I'm going to say accidentally. I'm not saying that you're doing this on purpose, but what we do is we'll connect and then we'll sell, but we'll kind of segment it. And then the sales feels pretty impersonal, which that's what we were trying not to do. We were trying to make the sales feel personal, but that's a result of not selling earlier in your funnel, right? Not focusing on connection and conversion together. They can live together. Okay, beautiful. Last, I want to talk about really owning the outcome. Really owning the outcome of what you create. I get that when you're a health coach, you don't want to promise weight loss. I get that when you're a business coach, you don't want to promise someone's going to sign clients. I get that when you're a life coach, you don't want to promise that, they're going to be happy overnight. I get that when you're a dating coach, you don't want to promise they'll find their dream partner tomorrow. I get that. And Nancy over there, the non-heart-centered coach, is promising that stuff. And guess what? On the back end, she's ghosting her clients and not really helping them. So we have to have a happy medium. I talk about not promising, but saying this is what's possible for you, right? Sharing your own stories, sharing past client success stories, right? You have to figure out a way to be a little more income driven, right? That is the number one feedback with my clients who are in Getting Coached Your First Client. As I'm reviewing the first thing we do in the first week, reviewing their messaging, reviewing their offer. The feedback that I give almost every single person is you have to connect to the outcome more, because when your potential clients are scrolling online and they're in crisis mode, their subconscious brain is just looking for the thing that's going to solve their problem. This is not even conscious, you guys. So you have to put on your marketing hat. You have to be a little more savvy. I highly recommend you join Getting Coached Your First Client, my program, because sometimes as a heart-centered entrepreneur, it's hard to even see how you're not doing this. And I love giving you practical examples of this is exactly what I would say. And then you can say, okay, I feel comfortable saying that. Or some of my clients say, no, I don't feel comfortable saying that. So then we try a different version and they're like, oh yeah, actually, when you say it like that, I would feel comfortable with that. It's a conversation. Marketing is this dynamic fusion between what your clients need and how you want to express yourself, right? I would say like completely ignore your needs and just market to your potential clients, but that's not truthful. The truth is that you are a human and that you need to feel good and authentic about what you're saying and sharing. Your messaging has to feel good to you, right? We should mostly focus on our potential clients, but it can be some of an expression too, and it needs to feel in alignment. And so I really feel like that's the biggest reason of all the three that I see women they're getting visible, they're posting online, but they're not signing clients. They're not honing in on the outcome. They're not getting practical and tangible enough. And if you're like, oh, I help a lot of different people with a lot of different things, or, oh, the work I like most is the intangible work. I get it. It's safe for you to market to the outcome and still over deliver with the intangible work, right? It's safe for you to market to one outcome while also helping many different outcomes, right? Your marketing is just an on-ramp to your work. It was so freeing when I realized my marketing didn't have to embody, number one, all of me, but also all of my work behind the scenes of my business. It's just the marketing is narrow. You are not narrow. Right? I think as women who are heart-centered, we have a hard time with the separating of like our personal life and our business, or our passions and our, like I'm a big fan of like a boring business that makes a lot of money, that's aligned and heart-centered, and then a really passionate, beautiful, vibrant life, right? And this only happens when you allow yourself, the more outcome focused you are, the less hard you're going to have to work, the lazier you can be. When your words are more pointed and more resonant with your audience, then you get to use less words and people convert faster. When your marketing is vague, you just have to be exhausting yourself. And that's not going to make you a good coach for your clients, right? If you want my personal help with this, I highly recommend you join Get and Coach Your First Client. If you're listening to this in real time, cart is open. I'm so excited to be doing a live summer round. It's 12 weeks, live coaching calls. I'm there with you personally because this is, in my opinion, one of the most frustrating times in your business where you're starting or you're in a shift, right? You're working to sign your next clients either on your current offer or a new niche or on a new platform, or after a pause in your business, and you're really working to build inertia, right? It's a little anticlimactic because often we harvest the seeds that we planted 90 days ago, right? So when you're at the start of the 90 days, you're doing a lot of planting and you're not seeing you're seeing no growth really, right? And then things start growing and you're like, oh, this is amazing. But you have to put in the work before you see the growth, right? I said I have this little backyard garden. And for the first few weeks, we were taking care of that garden and the soil looked empty. Now that the garden is thriving, it's a lot easier to go take care of it, right? I'm doing the same care, actually less care than I did at the beginning. In the beginning of your business, when you're starting that momentum or you're shifting, it takes a lot of work and the gratification isn't there. Later on, there's a lot of gratification without the work, right? But when you're in that part of not a lot of gratification, I cannot more highly recommend hiring a coach. Because that gets to be some of the gratification is me saying, good job. Yes, keep going. And for me, I loved hiring a coach at the beginning of my business because I was like, okay, if I'm going to be investing my time and my money into this, I want to make sure I'm doing the right things, not wasting my time, not spinning my wheels. And so it's knowing as you're taking guesses, you're making the best possible guess on your messaging, on your offer. And I love surrounding you with other passionate women. It's a small group program, usually about 10 women at a time. And I'm really in there and I'm in your Slack answering your questions and supporting you. And, most women in this program have a day job they're starting with or another business, or even if you only have 1 hour a week, that is enough to start building momentum and signing clients in your coaching business. Okay. Would love to invite you in. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to hop on a free 10-minute call with you. If you want to chat through it, I also have a free 20-minute workshop. Sign your next 3 to 5 coaching clients with one simple strategy. You're going to love it. Sending you a big hug, and I hope you join me. Thanks for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to stay updated anytime a new episode drops. And I would love for you to join me in my free Facebook community. It's called The Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. We discuss the podcast episodes. I regularly go live and do free trainings. And you may even meet your newest biz bestie. So you can join at heartcenteredcommunity.com. It's absolutely free, and I cannot wait to see you in there.